Rest of the Pac-12 tournament, round 1, number 9 Colorado versus number 8 Washington. Do you guys have a pick in that game, do you think?
I think Colorado wins that game.
So do I. It should be a banger, though. I mean, it's an 8-9 game, so duh. But I'm leaning towards Colorado. I just don't trust Washington. I just don't.
Colorado is a team that had some interesting wins early on in the season. Yeah. And by interesting, they were good wins. They had 100%. A win over Tennessee pretty early on in the season. They've just been super inconsistent. They play up and down to their competition as good as anybody else in the Pac-12. I'm with you guys, though. I think Colorado probably beats Washington.
I forgot that this Colorado team beat Oregon 68-41 earlier in the season.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 sucks, man. What are we doing?
It's odd.
And then they went on to lose to Oregon State.
Yeah, it's Pac-12, man. Number 5, Washington State versus number 12, Cal. Is there any chance in hell?
No, dude, Wazoo is going to beat Oregon.
I believe in Wazoo.
We're bypassing the Cal game.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, it's just because it's Wazoo. It's not because it's Cal. Like, I'm such a believer in this team right now. They've played well. They've been playing really well. They have an NBA player on their team, as I've been saying this entire year, and TJ Baum is a stud. Like, I think that they have enough to get past Oregon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they beat UCLA.
Dude,
really?
Yeah, they've been playing such great basketball. Oh my God.
Washington State?
Yeah.
And plus,
what do their last couple games look like?
Last game was a 93-84 win over Washington at Washington, a 63-57 win at Cal, 67-63 win at Stanford, 68-65 home against Oregon, 80-62 home
These are
against
all wins?
Oregon State. Yep.
Wow.
56-51 home against Washington. Then they lost to UCLA, USC, and then they beat ASU before that. Lost to Arizona, Colorado, Utah, all losses. And then they beat Arizona earlier in the year at Arizona 74-61.
They're a good team.
It's a really, really good team.
There's your dark horse for the Pac-12.
Insane.
Yeah. Wonder what their odds
but not only that, also off the heels of their first Pac-12 championship in any sport since 2002.
They're women. Yep.
Their women team beat Utah. They beat UCLA.
It was a hell of a women's tournament.
Yeah, it was. They beat Utah, and then they beat they beat UCLA. In the
who
championship.
ASU almost beat in the first round. I'm not saying ASU would have made it to the championship if they had.
But you never know. That's tournament.
That's tournament play. It was a hell of a tournament. I hope we get half the tournament we get for the men. My computer's dead. So nice. I hope you don't want me to read any more ads.
Game 3, number 10 Stanford versus number 7 Utah. I think this has potential to be the best game in round 1. We've been talking all year long about Stanford, the potential at the start of the season. We saw what their best basketball looks like. Just turn on the tape of that Arizona game. And then you've got a team in Utah that pretty similar to Arizona State in my mind for the majority of the season. They've been hot. They've been cold. But I think at number 7, I think a lot of people are going to be bypassing Utah.
KJ Simpson's out for the tournament? Wow.
Wait, but then he said illness.
Would an illness keep you out of the
Maybe he got COVID.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would do it.
That would be big.
JJ,
Stanford, Utah.
But yeah, this seems like a personal attack because I hate Stanford and I hate the state of Utah.
Which one do you hate more?
In the context of the Pac-12 tournament, it's Stanford.
Yeah.
And I hate the Stanford tree more than
I hope Stanford loses on a buzzer beater.
I would sacrifice my own life if it meant the Stanford tree ceased to exist.
Stop it.
I hate it. It would be a worthwhile sacrifice.
Would it?
Yes.
Okay.
The world might not know.
Utah winning this game.
The world might not know what I did for it, but I did do something.
You have Utah winning this game.
No, I have Stanford winning. I just don't want them to win. But I wish I could look up the reason.
I have Utah running away with this game.
Really?
Yeah, they're good. They're a good team.
Stanford is just.
It's a Utah team that beat. I feel like there's a lot of teams that have beaten Arizona.
It's just you look at what Stanford did do in the tournament last year. They had to come back from a sizable deficit. They have a lot of returning pieces from that tournament team last year,
but they haven't been good. They've had those pieces all year.
Yeah, I know, but it's again tournament plays different, and they got there last year had a sizable deficit against ASU, fought their way back, and then
they played really well against Arizona too.
They did. It's a Stanford team that I'm just not going to count them out at any point. They're super unpredictable, and you know that they can play good basketball. They're a poor man's ASU to me. You know that they can play good basketball. I don't know that their ceiling, their ceiling's not as high as ASU's ceiling, and I would say that their floor is much lower than ASU's floor. But in the sense that they seem like they never play to their potential. But when they do, they're a very dangerous team. I'm not going to be surprised if Utah wins, but I do think I like Stanford here as a little bit of an upset in the first round.
Okay, and then we've talked about it the whole show. Need your predictions. Arizona State, the 6th seed, versus 11 seed Oregon State.
Oregon State 83,
Stop
ASU 17.
Stop it.
I think it's going to be closer than it should be. I'll go 74-69 ASU.
74-69 ASU?
Yeah.
Wasn't the score?
74-69 was the exact score of the first meeting.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, I'm onto something, I guess.
Does Dez drop 21 points in that game too?
Yeah.
I say it's close till last 3 minutes. ASU pulls away, wins by 12.
So like the first UCLA game.
77-65.
Okay.
No,
I think
that's too many points. 67-55.
I think ASU runs away with this one. I think
God, wouldn't that just be awesome?
I think
would
both
be very
teams
nice.
start off slow, but I think Arizona State pulls out in the second half. I think they probably win 65. I'll say 65. I'll say 65-47.